Good morning. The next type of communication is mass communication. See, before coming into the definitions of mass communication, let me explain how this mass communication has developed throughout the ages. As we know, Christopher Columbus, he is the person who discovered America, right? It was in October 12, 1492. And this news that Christopher Columbus has discovered America reaches to the ears of the King of Spain only after 5 months. See the difference. When a very special thing had happened in the history, that news came to the King of Spain only after 5 months. Abraham Lincoln, the former president of America, he was assassinated on April 14 in 1865. And Europe heard the news 12 days later. So, there is an improvement in the case of communication, right? It took 5 months to reach the news of American discovery to Spain. At the same time, in 1865, after around 3 centuries, the assassination of Lincoln, this news had reached to Europe 12 days later. And in 1969, Neil Armstrong and team stepped onto the moon, and over 70 million people in some 50 countries watched it on television sets in their homes. Much more improvement in the case of mass communication. And as we know, in 14, the World Cup between Germany and Argentina, which was watched by more than a billion people in nearly 200 countries around the world, and it was a live telecast. See the improvement in mass communication. See, now today we can see the things or see the incidents that happen around the world on the spot through this mass media. So the situation has changed. So what is the mass media? What is mass media? Mass communication. Mass communication is the process of delivering information, ideas, and attitudes to a sizable and diversified audience. That is the simple definition of mass communication. So the size of the audience is very large. We can even imagine the number of the audience in mass communication. A sizable amount of audience will be there. And the audience will be diversified. I mean, their taste, their attitude, their views, everything will be different. And the countries may be changed. Their language, their color, everything will be different in the case of mass media. Let's see, for example, television, internet, magazine, radio, website, social media networks. All these are the examples for mass communication. See, many popular or viral shots, viral images, sorry, viral videos that may happen in the foreign countries, and we are watching that thing, I mean that incident, through our mobile phone using our internet on the spot in your home. So this communication is called mass communication. So this is done through the use of media developed for that purpose. So we need some medias for mass communication. In the previous classes, we have discussed about interpersonal, intrapersonal, group communications. And in these communications, we don't need any devices. But in the case of mass communication, we need some devices from some media developed for the purpose. Namely, newspapers. It's an example for mass communication. Magazines, radio, television, website, social media networks. These are the examples for mass communication. See, through the newspapers, for example, let's take Malayalam Manorama. Around more than 1 million people are reading the same Malayalam Manorama newspaper in a day in Kerala. So it's an example for mass media. Communicating with a mass audience. Then magazines, I don't need to explain. Radio, see radio programs. Television. If a news program is going on in the television at 9 o'clock, lakhs of people are watching the same thing. That television program is communicating with lakhs of people. So the number of the audience is innumerable. Websites, social media networks. So these are the devices, or these are the technology or media developed for the purpose of mass communication. And the act of mass communication is much more complex than that of face-to-face communication. As we know, this face-to-face communication or interpersonal communication is very easy and it is more effective. But in the case of mass communication, it is much more complex. It is addressed to masses, to an extremely large audience. So, through this mass communication, we are addressing to an extremely large audience. And see, actually, this mass communication began, I think it's with the invention of printing press. After the invention of printing press, the availability of books is increased throughout the world. So people can read the books, and that invention of printing press brought a revolutionary change in our society. And an explosion in the case of communication actually began with the emergence of electronic media. After the invention of radio, television, internet, computer, there was an explosion in the case of communication. And now this is an age of internet, you know. Internet has become a part of our life today. We cannot live without the internet services. We cannot even Think of a day without internet services. So, this internet service or this mass media sometimes satisfy our need for entertainment, and in other times it is satisfying our need for information. So, this is mass communication. It's a very complex process than other communication processes. The next type of communication, verbal and written communication. Verbal, by words, written by writings. Verbal communication refers to spoken messages that we transmit by producing sounds. No doubt in it. Verbal communication is spoken communication. If I am talking to my friend, that is a verbal communication. And in general, we spend a great deal of time participating in verbal communication, either as speaker or listeners. We know this. We are with verbal communication, or we are participating this verbal communication in a great deal of time. Sometimes we are speaking to someone, or other times we may listening to someone. So in both cases we are participating this verbal communication. And the majority of the communication occurs in a person is this verbal communication. And verbal communication is important to human relationship, starting from interpersonal group communication to other communication contexts. I hope I don't need to explain this. It's a very important thing to keep human relationship, verbal communication. Then, what is written? Written communication refers to the communication through written or printed words. So, in the case of verbal communication, we are producing sounds to transmit an idea. At the same time, this written communication, we are just expressing our ideas through written or printed materials. Although it is verbal in nature, written communication has a non-verbal dimension. And written communication is formal, literate, and follows the rules of grammar. So this is another feature of written communication. It's a verb, so it's a formal and literate. The persons who can read and write can understand written communication. And the written communication will be following some grammatical rules. When we are talking to someone else, we may not follow, we need not to follow the grammar rules. At the same time, when we are communicating in a written format, we should keep we should keep the grammatical rules in that particular language. That is the difference between written and verbal and written communication. And we have some advantages of written communication here. See, first one, written communication is a permanent record. If you are asking for leave by words, that is not a record. At the same time, if you are asking the permission to take leave from the class through a written format, it's a permanent record. So written communication is a permanent record. Then second one, it provides tangible legal evidences. So written communication is a legal evidence. See, for anything, to make it legal, we should keep that in a written format. The verbal format is not enough. If there is an agreement between myself and my friend in a business, we should keep a written evidence that only that written format can be legal. So second one, written communication is a legal evidence. And third one, written communication is more accurate than oral communication. It will be very clear. The written communication will be very clear. As I told you before, we will follow the grammatical rules in the written communication, and so yes, so it is very easy to understand. It is not, I mean, that much. I mean, for example, in the case of oral communication, there will be dialectical differences, colloquial differences. At the same time, we may use standard language in written communication, so it is more accurate than oral communication. Then fourth one, it provides reader time to retain the messages. So these are the advantages of written communication. And as I told you, written communication is accessible only to the literate. We should know reading and writing to understand this communication. And see, the countries like India, millions of illiterates are here in this country, and these illiterates cannot use this medium of communication. And second one, these are the disadvantages of written communication. First one, the people, the places where illiterates or the countries like India, where millions of illiterates are living, they cannot use this medium. Second one, it is costly and time consuming for written communication when compared to oral communication or verbal communication. So we need papers, pen, and we need to write something. We need to think of the ideas. So it is time consuming and it is a somewhat costly compared to the other communications. Thirdly, feedback on written communication is delayed as compared to oral communication. We know what is feedback in communication. The replies of the audience is called feedback. So in the case of written communication, the feedback is delayed. There will be a delay in the feedback. There will be a delay in the reply from the audience or from the reader as compared to oral communication. See, in oral communication, we will get the feedback on the spot immediately after the comment of or the after message of the sender. At the same time, in the case of written communication, this will be delayed. That means that may take time to get replies from the receiver. In the case of correspondence, letters, as we know, if I write a letter to anyone else or my friend, it will take time to get a reply from the friend, right, as a letter. So this is written communication. And the last type of communication we have here is non-verbal communication, and we will come to it in the next class. Thank you.